The head of the British Museum said it was one of the most interesting places he had ever been. Archaeologists have found a palace that is 4,500 years old in what is now Iraq. This palace could tell us more about one of the first known civilizations. Hey everyone, welcome to Unexplained History. Today we will talk about the discovery that was recently made in Iraq. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Let's begin. Archaeologists from Britain and Iraq found the Lord Palace of the Kings of the old Sumerian city of Gursu last year. Gursu is now in Tello, which is in southern Iraq. Near the old city, more than 200 cuneiform tablets were found that had records about how the ancient city was run. Ancient Sumerians, who lived between the 6th and 5th centuries BC, built Gursu, which is one of the oldest places we know about. Since the old city was first found 140 years ago, it has been looted and dug up without permission. The Gursu project, which started in 2015 and is led by the British Museum and funded by the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, is what led to the finding. Along with the house and the tablets, the main temple to the Sumerian god Nangirsu was also found. Before this groundbreaking research, only ancient writings found at the same time as the first successful excavation of the ancient city told us that it existed. As a reaction to the Islamic State's destruction of important historical sites in Iraq and Syria, the British government first funded a similar project in Iraq. Since it opened, more than 70 Iraqis have been trained to work in the field at Gursu for 8 seasons. Tablet Hill has mud brick walls and over 200 Sumerian written cuneiform tablets last fall. Spoil heaps are piles of stuff that were left over from 19th century digs. The tablets were found and taken to the Iraq Museum in Baghdad. They held the municipal records of Gursu. Archaeologists also found the Eninu Temple, which was the main place of worship for the Sumerian god Ningirsu, after whom the city was named. One of the most important buildings in Mesopotamia's past was the Temple of the White Thunderbird. Before it was found recently, the temple was only known from old writings that were found at the study site 140 years ago. Dr. Sebastian Ray, who is in charge of the Gursu project, told the PA news agency at a press conference on Friday that the finding finally made him feel like he was right. The innovations made in Sumer are nothing short of amazing. This is where the foundation for the world we know today was laid, from writing and codes of law to important mathematical formations and new technologies. Without writing, humanity wouldn't have been able to keep records or run areas efficiently. But that's just one part of writing. The area, which is now in modern Iraq, is fascinating to archaeologists, which is why Dr. Ray was there. Ernest the Sarsak, a famous archaeologist, led the first excavation in the 1880s, and others followed in the decades that followed. What they found was absolutely amazing. The earliest discovery was a monument called a Stele of Vultures, which dates back to between 2600 BC and 2350 BC. This monument was built to honor the victory of a Sumerian city-state called Lagash over its neighbor and enemy, Yamain. It was the oldest war monument they knew of. There are 7 pieces of the statue, but it is thought that they were all once one piece. They are now on display at the Louvre Museum in Paris, France, which is a long way from their original home. During their work in the 1920s and 1930s, they found another interesting structure. It was made of brick and stood about 11 feet tall, 130 feet long, and 33 feet wide. At first, no one was sure what it was, with different people saying it could have been a temple, a water regulator, or a dam. The structure wasn't very clear, which is why it became known as the enigmatic instruction. Dr. Ray was the one who finally solved the mystery. By looking at the structure from above and doing his own research, he realized that a canal had once been cut through the area. It was then clear that the mysterious instructions were actually the foundations of a bridge over the waterway. It's not just any bridge, though. This one has a strange religious meaning that has baffled experts for years. It's also the oldest bridge on Earth, dating back 5,000 years. Experts are determined to keep it safe at all costs because it is a valuable monument that tells an important story about early human culture. There have been some new finds in the gear, with archaeologists Dr. Ray and Tina Greenfield at the center of the work. The team's results promise to reveal even more about this ancient and mysterious civilization. According to Dr. Ray and Dr. Greenfield, who are in charge of the dig, all of the cubs they found were probably used during a religious feast before being ceremonially thrown down the pit. What's most interesting, though, is the layer of ash that covered the whole site. It's thought that this ash may have come from a huge fire that was lit for symbolic purposes somewhere else, and that the 8 vessels filled with burned ash came from the same fire. The embers found could have been used as lanterns during the events. Whatever was going on at the site, it must have been well lit. Dr. Ray and Dr. Greenfield think that this site was once connected to a place where festivals took place, and the people of Girsu met to feast and honor their gods. The people of Girsu had some interesting traditions and beliefs, but there's still so much we don't know about them. Everyone gets so excited about every new find. As they dug, they found a well-preserved palace made of mud bricks, which they quickly sent to the Iraq Museum in Baghdad. The real prize was the collection of cuneiform tablets that were kept inside the palace walls. Experts were eager to get their hands on these tablets because they held the key to old Girsu's secrets. The important discoveries made at Girsu changed our view of the Sumerian civilization, shedding light on their past and helping us plan for the future. For too long, the Sumerian civilization has been ignored, even though it was very important. Thanks to important discoveries like those made at Girsu, the Sumerians are finally getting the attention they deserve. That's it for today. We hope this amazing find touches you as much as it did us. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Please share our video and press the bell icon for more updates.